How you going, guys? Dean Simbeck from the blog for the Blood God here. Finally got around to doing the unboxing video / showcase / review of the new Khorne Daemonkin limited edition codex. So I'll just jump straight into it and show off the box that it comes in. It comes in a nice metallically printed, very sexy, very big, solid box that on the side here has got a magnetic flap which opens up to reveal the codex on the inside. On the front, you've got the standard codex cover, and then on the back, on the spine there, you've got Codex Khorne Daemonkin, and on the back, you've got a Terminator or a Lord. I think it's the same picture they use as the Chaos Lord. And then on the inside, you've got a red graphic of some skulls and gore and very Khorne-looking stuff. Then when you get onto the inside of the box, there's a little pull tab here, which you can pull to release the contents, which you've got 2 books inside. You've got, this is just the codex, which I'll go through that in a moment. But this is the limited edition component, which interestingly enough has got a picture of Khan the Betrayer on it, even though he's not even available in the book, which I'm sure everybody's going to find that a bit ridiculous. But yes, and then you've got your number of your limited edition copy there. And on the inside of this book, you've got a deck of tactical objective cards, 6 brass, I think they're brass, objective markers, which on the front have got numbers. On the back, God, they're tricky to get out. On the back, they've got the Mark of Khorne, which I'm a really big fan of those. I reckon they're really cool. I was a little disappointed with the tactical objective cards because they just come in a little crappy cardboard box. They're not like the tactical objective cards you buy for the normal games, because they come in that nice thick cardboard box, whereas that's just a little plastic paper crap. Anyway, enough bitching about that. Then in this you've got, I'll try and bring it up nice and close, see if we can focus. There are skulls, little brass skulls, which I reckon they're really cool. I don't know whether I'll use them because they're very small. Like, look at it, they're smaller than a thumbnail. But I'd be afraid that I'd lose them, so they'll probably just live in here because, limited edition and whatnot. And yeah, that's a nice foam, thick foam. It's very lightweight, this. But yeah, so that's the limited edition component. I'll get all my shit out of the way. And then in the standard codex, it's exactly the same contents as the normal codex. It's just got that cool blood crusher on the front, or is that a Herald? It might be a Herald. And then your glossy spine there, and then on the back you've got just the same graphic as what's on the inside of the box. Then on the inside is where it gets exciting, and personally, I think this is the best fucking codex ever to be written, simply because I've played exclusively mono Khorne for probably 6 years now. I've got about 30,000 points worth of mono Khorne, and I've always wanted a Khorne codex, so when I heard this was coming out, I fucking literally came in my pants. But yeah, let's get into the book. So there's your front artwork there. So you got cool artwork there, cool artwork on the inside. Then it starts going into, this is just about Khorne and what the Blood God's all about. Then it goes in the Path to Glory, which is the ascension that the Space Marines will go on, from Space Marine to Possessed to Bloodletter. It goes on to about Khorne's Legion, so about the demons and the way they're organised, and it's got some organisational structure of the demons there. Then it goes on to the Scriptures of Slaughter, which is all the books where the Marines get their knowledge of the demon world and how they organise their slaughter cults. Then it starts talking a little bit about a few examples of some specific Daemonkin warbands. So there's the Skull Sworn, the Wrath, the Brazen Beasts, the Harvest, the Eights Guard, and the Blood Gorged. There's some really cool stories in here and some really cool fluff ideas. Like, I'm a big fan of the Harvest, and I don't know whether you can see it there, but basically their thing is that they whenever they know that a really big battle's going to go on, say between, the example they give is between, say, Tyranid and Imperial Guard, if they know a massive Tyranid fleet or force or whatever is coming for the Imperial Guard, they'll get ahead of them, kill the Imperial Guard, and then set up a defense using the Imperial Guard's fortifications, and then they'll fight the Tyranids themselves. So they get the glory of both battles. So they're cool, I like that. But yeah, there's a lot of cool shit in there. Then it goes on to a timeline, which has just got a whole bunch of examples of famous battles. There's some stuff on the First War of Armageddon in there. There's a lot of just interesting stuff in there. And then this is where I'm up to with my reading. So from here on out, I'm just going to be sort of summarizing what it looks like. So you got your information on each specific unit. So some fluff on Lords, Demon Princes, Bloodthirsters, Bloodletters, Heralds. And there's some really kick-ass artwork in there. Like, I mean, look at that shit. That's fucking crazy. Oh, that's fucking awesome. There's a lot of stuff that we've seen before, but there's also lots of fresh new artwork to get excited about. So then you got, some fluff on Berserkers, Terminators, Blood Crushers, Spawn, Cultists, Warp Talons, Raptors, Bikers, Fleshhounds, Hellbrutes, Battle Tanks, Defilers, Soul Grinders, Forge Fiends, Mauler Fiends, the Lord of Skulls, which he's in the book, which is awesome. Then you got some paint schemes and some squad markings and stuff. So this is how the Skullsworn do it, how the Wrath do it, Brazen Beasts Harvest, which obviously you can create your own warband, which is what I've done. But yeah, there's just some examples in there for inspiration, I guess. Then it gets onto some showcase of miniatures, which you've got some really cool, nice double-paged photos in there. Then it gets onto the heavy metal, which this I really liked because it's got, not only has it got the showcases of some of the big guys, but it's got individual ones, which I'll get onto in a second. The Lord of Skulls. And this bit here, this is what I liked. It's like, it shows you some close-ups and some different, like the back of the guys, and yeah, that was, I don't know, I found that really impressive. And just the way it's presented with the, down the center, you've got the images and then you've got the close-ups on the side, but the black background, that I really liked. Back into some more big shots. Then it gets into the rules. So you've got the forces of the Daemonkin. So it's got how you do a Blood Host detachment, which is like the Necron Decurion detachment, where it's basically a series of formations all linked together that gain one benefit. The benefit for the Blood Host is that every single turn at the start of your turn, you generate a Blood Tithe point automatically. And also you get to reroll your Warlord trait, but who cares? But yeah, generating that extra Blood Tithe point, that's going to be massively helpful. Then it gets into how the data sheets work, a list of all their war gear and the points, and then it goes into all your data slates. So the book's got Chaos Lord and Demon Prince, which pretty much all of these data slates are the same as in the Chaos Space Marine Codex or the Demons Codex. There's a few special rules are different, like they've got the Blood for the Blood God rule, they've got Skulls for the Skull Throne, which is must accept challenges, and the Blood for the Blood God is every time they kill something or get killed, you get a Blood Tithe point. Other than that, you've got Herald. Blood Throne is its own unit now. It's not a, you can take a Herald and he can have a Blood Throne. It's actually a separate unit now. Also interesting to note is that Heralds take up a full HQ slot. They're no longer a, take 4 for the 1 slot unit. You got the Skull Taker, which you probably already heard. He can't take a Juggernaut in this one, which I don't really care because he's shit anyway, but yeah, so that he's in there. You got your Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, which is a frickin' beast. I've had a game with it where he killed an Imperial Knight before he even got hurt. He inflicted 14 hull points in a single round of combat. So he's frickin' crazy. Cultists, Chaos Space Marines, both now minimum squad of 8. And they've got their points and stuff are pretty much the same. They've just got Mark of Khorne included in their points, so you have to have the Mark of Khorne, so it's already included in there for you. Berserkers, Bloodletters, again, minimum squad size of 8, which is awesome for the Bloodletters because it used to be 10. So now you can take smaller squads, which in this codex you definitely want to take multiple small units, because for every unit that dies, you get that blood tithe point. So instead of taking 1 unit of 20, you're much better taking 2 units of 8, you know, or 2 units of 10, because you're going to get more points that way. Interesting also to note is the bloodletters, the champion can't take any upgrades. So you can upgrade one of them for 5 points to a champion, but he has no options. So the only reason you do that is if you want challenges, which you do want, because for every challenge you, if you win or lose, it doesn't matter. If you're in a challenge, you get another blood tithe point. So then you've got Possessed. Interesting on Possessed, they're different in this book. The main difference that they have is that they have Demons of Khorne now, whereas it used to be just Demon. And the difference there is you get Furious Charge. So that actually effectively gives them that +1 strength on the charge. And then also they have the Blood for the Blood God rule, so you can use the blood tithe to give them +1 attack and or feel no pain. So they got a serious boost in this codex. Plus they've got the Mark of Khorne, so they get the rage and counterattack. They're also pretty much mandatory. If you want to take the formations, they're one of the ones you just got to take. Terminators and Blood Crushers, not much changed. Blood Crushers are the same as Bloodletters, where the champion can't take any upgrades whatsoever. You've got the Spawn, Chaos Rhino, the Bikers and the Fleshhounds, Raptors and Warp Talons, Helldrake and a Land Raider, Forge Fiend, Mauler Fiend, Defiler, Soul Grinder, Hellbrute, Skull Cannon, and the Lord of Skulls. Then it gets on into the formations. The first formation is the Slaughter Cult, which the Slaughter Cult is something that you definitely want, because basically what it is, it's a HQ, which can be a Lord, Demon Prince, a Herald, whatever. So it's a HQ, 2 to 8 units of either Chaos Space Marines, Berserkers, or Bloodletters. So it's essentially your HQ and your 2 mandatory troops. You can have 2 to 8, so you could have 8 units of 8 Bloodletters if you wanted, which is how I plan to run it. But yes, you get your HQ, your 2 troops, and then a minimum of 1 to 4 Possessed. So that's the tax, is the Possessed. But I'm just going to run the Possessed with the Lord as a retinue, and I mean, he's going to want a retinue anyway, so that's no big deal. And then you've also got the option to take Cultists or Spawn, up to 2 units. But the reason that I reckon every single person that runs this codex will use this Slaughter Cult is because you've got 3 rules. One of them is reroll Warlord traits. The second is any Chaos Cultists that fail a morale test, you can just remove them as a casualty instead of having them fall back and waste time. So the good thing about that is you can go, I'm going to remove them as a casualty, instant blood tithe point. So basically, people are going to not want to shoot at your cultists, because they might only kill 1 cultist, and then you're going to fall back, wipe them out, gain a blood tithe point, and then potentially summon a bloodthirster. So that's cool, and that's also really fluffy. I love that. Like, I can just picture one of them going to run away, and then the rest of them just all slaughtering each other. You know, like they fail that morale test, and they just all kill each other. And blood for the blood god. You know, they don't care. But the really good one is Boon of Khorne. And basically what this does is that whenever you cash in blood tithe points to get a boon, you can get a second boon of lesser points for free. So for example, I think it's 4 points gets you feel no pain, and 3 points gets you +1 attack. So normally, in order to get both of those, you need to spend 4 and then earn another 3 and then spend 3. Whereas if you take this formation, you can spend 4 to get you feel no pain, and then also get +1 attack for free. And that's army-wide. So if you've got 8 units of 8 Bloodletters, and you have 4 blood tithe points, which you'll probably get in the first turn, then as soon as it hits your second turn, everything in your army, +1 attack, and feel no pain. Which is going to make massive difference in the effectiveness of things like Bloodletters, because one of their problems was they're piss weak, you know, but feel no pain will fix that. And then +1 attack with that strength and power weapon, you're going to be killing some serious stuff. So I reckon you're going to see a lot of these Slaughter Cults. But enough on that. Then it goes on to the Brazen Onslaught, which is basically 1 to 4 Terminators and 2 to 4 Blood Crushers. So that's your elites. formation, essentially. And then their rule is basically they gain +1 attack if they're outnumbered. So them, you're going to want to take units of 3. You're going to minimum size units so that the chances are you'll be outnumbered. I don't think that one's really that great, because if you've only got a unit of 3, you get +1 attack, you're getting an extra 3 attacks. That's not really that good. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not game-changing. You know, I don't really see that as the most powerful of the formations. Then you've got Khorne's Bloodstorm, which is 2 to 4 units of Raptors, 1 to 4 Warp Talons, and 0 to 1 Helldrake. And the boon on this one is that you add +1 strength to your Hammer of Wrath or Vector Strike attacks. So that's kind of handy, because you get that +1 strength to your Hammer of Wrath, but the Warp Talon tax, to me, makes that one not very interesting. Next one is the Gore Pack. This one's my favourite. Other than the Slaughter Cult, that's the best, but of the smaller formations, the Gore Pack's my favourite. Basically 2 to 4 units of Bikers and 1 to 4 units of Fleshhounds. They gain move through cover, which is fantastic because it means that you're automatically going to pass dangerous terrain tests, so you can turbo boost over terrain and not care. And also preferred enemy psychers, and you get run them to the ground, which is Fleshhounds gain Hammer of Wrath, and Biker units have Shred on their Hammer of Wrath, which that's awesome, because that's essentially giving all your Fleshhounds +1 attack at initiative 10 all the time, compared to the Terminator one where it's only +1 attack if you're outnumbered, whereas they get it all the time and it's initiative 10, so that's really awesome. Then you got the Charnel Cohort, which is basically all demons, so it's a HQ, can be a Demon Prince, Herald, Bloodthrone, or Skulltaker. Then you have to take 2 to 8 Bloodletters, you have to take 1 to 4 Fleshhounds, you have to take 1 to 4 Blood Crushers, sorry, and you can take up to 4 Skull Cannons, and basically they all get counterattack, which is really handy, because that way when somebody attacks you, you get that extra attack. You get to reroll your Warlord trait. The Lord of the Blood Host is, if your HQ deep strikes, he can reroll his reserves roll, and anybody that deep strikes within 6 inches doesn't scatter. And enemy units have -2 leadership when taking fear tests, which that's pretty cool too. And then it gets onto some more artwork, and then it goes into the special rules. So these are your army-wide special rules, your Warlords traits, the Blood Tithe, which Blood Tithe is pretty cool. Basically, you can spend 1 point to gain Adamantium Will, 2 points will give you Furious Charge and Rage, which most of your units are probably already going to have. Unstoppable Ferocity is 3 points, which gives you Feel No Pain, and 4 points gives you +1 attack. And then you've got the Demon Tide, where you can summon a unit of Bloodletters or Fleshhounds for 5 points. For 6 points, you can summon Blood Crushers or a Skull Cannon. For 7 points, you can turn any of your characters into a Demon Prince. And for 8 points, you can turn any of your characters into a Bloodthirster, sorry. Then he goes on to your Tools of Butchery, which is basically all your weapons and war gear, which are all pretty much the same. Same here, pretty much all the same as the other codexes. Gifts of Khorne, armor, Loki, vehicle equipment, all the same. Then it's the Artifacts of Slaughter, which there's some pretty cool ones in here. There's an axe that gets stronger as you use it. There's armor that gives you 3+ armor, Feel No Pain, and Eternal Warrior, which is fantastic for Demon Princes. Brazen Runes, crap. Blade of Endless Bloodshed, where every single kill, or every single wound, sorry, gives you +1 Blood Tithe point. Skull Helm gives you +1 attack for every 6 you roll. And then the Axe of Ruin is basically when you die, you turn into a Bloodthirster, which that's the best, but it's 60 points. And then it goes into their tactical objectives and the profiles at the back. And that's basically it. So, oh crap, I put that in there wrong. But yeah, so I'm a really, really big fan of this codex, and I hope you've all enjoyed me ranting and rambling about it. I am yet to get any games in with it, because I've just been so busy with work over Easter. But yeah, as soon as I get some games in, I'm going to put up a couple of battle reports and just see how this army goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, keep an eye out on my Facebook page if you haven't liked it yet. It's facebook.com/blog for the Blood God. And I'm constantly doing free giveaways on there and tons of hobby content and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you check it out. And yeah, thanks for watching.